Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm truly honored to be here tonight, to be one of the many voices. My husband Bob and I lost our beloved son Michael to gun violence at the prime age of 33. Michael had just celebrated his special birthday 2 months earlier, in July 6, 2009. And he was so happy, looking forward to the future with his wife and 2 children. On September 2nd, 2009, this was the saddest and the most dreadful day of my life. I will never forget that fateful afternoon when 2 Pawtucket police detectives knocked on my door with the most shocking and heartbreaking news a mother could ever bear. I was alone in the house at the time, and they told me to call my husband to come home immediately. The officers calmly sat me down at my kitchen table, and after a brief, unsuspecting conversation, the female officer said to me, "Ma'am, I'm very sorry. I don't know how to tell you this. I have bad news." And she said to me, "Your son's body was found in a car in Pawtucket." This horrifying news left me nauseated, emotionally and physically paralyzed, as I collapsed on my kitchen floor. I screamed, wept, and sobbed in total shock and disbelief, while these 2 officers tried their best to lift me off the floor into a chair and offer me some consolation. "What animal did this to my child?" I screamed out. I knew Michael couldn't possibly have harmed anyone, because it's not in his nature to do so. Michael stood 6 feet tall, sweet, handsome, polite, kind, and a true gentleman. He was a gentle giant who would not hurt a fly, and was always ready to lend a helping hand to whomever needed it. Our son was a young, extraordinary, hard-working entrepreneur with a vision for the future. He treated his workers, family, and friends with love, dignity, and respect as he wanted to be treated. His generosity and kindness to others was echoed by many at his funeral. He avoided arguments and never liked confrontations with others. Malik, as was known by friends, was the mediator with a big smile. He was loved by many. For 10 agonizing months before his murder trial, I woke up each morning angry, heartbroken, and hopeless, realizing the senseless, untimely end of our son's life, and coming to the painful realization that our son would never be seen or heard from ever again. That is, to a mother, is very heartbreaking. I hoped the horrible nightmare would simply go away. Burying a child is the most horrendous and painful experience any parent can endure. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Sadly, because part of you dies when you bury that child. Our surviving children, Andrew and Katie, have been deeply affected by the tragic loss of their beloved brother Michael. Kyra and Kenden, our surviving beautiful young grandchildren, have been overwhelmed by not having Daddy around, denied the very basic privilege that every child should have, and that is having Dad to love and to cherish while growing up. My God, Michael loved and adored his children. It breaks our hearts that our grandchildren would never again experience the joy of hearing their daddy's voice or having him present at their birthday parties, their school graduations, and other important milestones in their lives. That basic right has been taken away by a cold-blooded murderer with a handgun. There have been massacre of children in schools across this nation since Columbine. The most gruesome one is Sandy Hook. We've had shootings at the workplace, campuses, malls, supermarkets, movie theaters, and so forth, at the hands of people with access to handguns and semi-automatic rifles, slaughtering innocent lives and destroying and separating loving families along with it. How many more precious lives does it have to take to stop this madness? We who are here tonight are some of the many families affected by gun violence. With a joint effort, in partnership with organizations, we can mobilize through hard work, using the media, demonstrations if possible, education, to make a difference, to end this suffering. The time has come for our elected officials, both Democrats and Republicans, to pass some sensible, comprehensive gun laws. We loved our son, a caring brother, and a loving dad, and we miss him dearly. Michael certainly did not deserve to die. Thank you all for listening.